Hello and welcome back to the Lolly Investor Programme. There are some benefits to this job. I've just bought these fish and chips so I can talk to you about this week's topic, which is the ISA. ISA, as some of you may know, stands for Individual Savings Account. ISAs have become really popular with savers in recent years. There are two types. There's the cash ISA, which is where you put short-term rainy day money, and the stocks and shares ISA, which is more suitable for money that you can afford to put away for 5 years or more. But what's that got to do with fish and chips? Well, ISAs are often described as a tax-free wrapper. Anything that's wrapped inside the ISA wrapper, like this gherkin, can grow free of tax. Of course, nothing in this life is truly free, and some people say it's an exaggeration to call ISAs tax-free. Tax-advantaged might be a better phrase. Either way, the main tax benefits of an ISA is that you pay no capital gains tax on any profits you make. Neither do you pay tax on any income you get from your ISA investments. On top of that, you don't have to declare any money you're making from your ISA to the taxman, or even tell him that you've got an ISA. That's tasty. My colleague Victoria Bischoff has already done an excellent video guide to ISAs and cash ISAs in particular, so I'm going to focus on the stocks and shares ISA. But let's cover the basics first. Everyone gets an annual ISA allowance. In the current financial year, you can invest up to £11,280 into an ISA. If you're aged 18 or over, you've got two options. You can put the whole lot into a stocks and shares ISA, or you can divide the money between a cash ISA and a stocks and shares ISA. You can invest up to a maximum of half that amount, £5,640, into a cash ISA, with the remainder going into the stocks and shares account. It's really important to bear in mind that you can only open one stocks and shares ISA and one cash ISA in any one financial year, starting from 6th of April to the 5th of April. By the way, if you're 16 or over, you can open a cash ISA. Parents and grandparents can also invest up to £3,600 on behalf of children under 16 in a junior ISA. Alongside a pension, a stocks and shares ISA is the most important weapon you have in your lifelong fight to protect your money against inflation. So what can you put in these amazing accounts? Well, for a start, you can buy all the investment funds we've looked at recently. That's unit trusts, investment trusts, and exchange traded funds. Shares, including shares you get in a company savings scheme, corporate bonds, government gilts, and some types of life insurance policy are also eligible. But remember, these are stock market investments and so can fall in value in the short term. To maximise your chances of making money, you need to be saving for a longer period, say 5 or 10 years. You can buy a stocks and shares ISA from banks, financial advisors, and a growing number of investment websites. Some companies only offer ISAs that give you a limited choice of funds and shares to put inside the wrapper. That makes things easier in a way, but personally, if you're prepared to do the research, I think it's better to go to a company offering a self-select ISA, as this will give you access to hundreds of funds and shares to choose from. Most ISA providers do not charge extra for the ISA plan, as they're making more than enough money from the investments you put inside the account. Most of the funds we've looked at recently charge between 0.5% and 1.5% of your money each year, but there may be other dealing costs, so do check. The rules around ISAs are fairly simple, but they are strict. If you do make a mistake, such as exceeding your annual allowance or opening more than one stocks and shares ISA in 1 year, contact the HMRC Savings Helpline and they'll tell you what to do. You can also switch ISA provider once you start saving, but never cash in an ISA with the intention of moving the money yourself, as you'll lose the tax benefits. Contact the company you want to move to and they'll tell you what to do. Well, that's enough for ISAs for this week. Next time, I'll talk about pensions and how they can help you invest.